Welcome guys, welcome. So today is a challenge that I've set up for myself, I guess. And pretty much the challenge is to, like we said in the thumbnail, and I'll switch to the actual photo as well. We're going to remove all of Post Malone's tattoos. So his face, you've got some hands in there. Yeah, we're going to try and remove them all. Now the reason it's a challenge is, for starters, it's live. And I am going to do it live, and I don't really know how to do it 100%. So I've been using Photoshop for a while, and I mean, I just haven't really tried this kind of thing specifically before. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And mostly what we're going to be using here is the healing tool, the kind of spot healing tool. There's a couple here. There's the healing brush tool and the spot healing brush tool. Both those two is pretty much what we're going to use this whole time. And depending on how hard it gets down here, it looks kind of tricky. We might end up using all sorts of other things really to kind of make it look smooth, and we might kind of smooth it out a little bit with a smudging tool, all sorts of different things. So hopefully this works out well. I don't know how it's going to go. That's how live streaming works. And so let's get into it. I have no idea how long it's going to take, but I hope you're kind of excited to come along for the journey. By the way, here in Australia right now, it's so hot, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, from the start, I'm going to duplicate this layer, and I'm going to leave half, just for now at least, I'm going to just kind of crop him over here, and I'm going to make a before section, so if people join in, then they kind of understand where at least we've come from with it. So I'm just going to crop that off probably there, and run with that. I think that's probably the best way to go. And let's just put a little before. Great. Let's make it a bit smaller. Alright, so what do you reckon? Chuck it there? Right in the middle? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I guess I'll put that there, just so people can see what it has already looked like. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that up and down a few times during, because after I finish this, I'm actually going to make it into a bit of a time lapse, and I don't really want that before to be there the whole time during the time lapse. So actually, I'm going to leave it. I am going to leave it there. Yeah, I am going to leave it there. This is the fun of the real life live stream. I'm pretty much making it up as I go. So I'll just chuck that in there. It's going to be red before. If you've ever watched me do a live stream or anything on Photoshop before, you will know that I really like to put things in folders, and that's pretty much the end of that. Alright, so we're going to kick off with the face, because it's definitely going to be the easiest part, and then the hands down here are going to be super hard. Chest shouldn't be too bad. There's kind of a lot of, there's not heaps going on really. So trick is basically just to zoom on right in and just work small bits at a time. So we are going to start off with the, we're just going to go the spot healing brush. Now the way this works is you pick basically a location, and you hold Alt, and I click that location there. Yes. Oh, sorry, that's the other one. Healing brush. Hold Alt, click, and then it basically uses that area that I held Alt in to kind of get the bit that I'm going to grab it from, and it pretty much copies it on, but it also takes into consideration what's around the outside. So I'm just going to click around a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to smoothen it. It needs to be a bit smoother. You really want to go slow with this stuff and just let it kind of work itself out a little bit. Okay, that's too smooth. Definitely need to go harder than that. And you just work your way along slowly. And basically, otherwise you end up disrupting it too much, and it's too kind of obvious what you've done. Apparently you do want to be pretty hard when you do these things, based on the kind of shadow blur that I'm getting there. So actually you might switch over to the spot healing and just see how if this works a little bit better to start off with. Yeah, so like I said, just kind of working my way through. And the spot healing brush is actually like almost cheating on Photoshop. It's literally like I don't know. It's so clever at basically looking at the pixels around it and just just copying them itself. And as long as you notice that you can see the little blur there, as long as you don't get too, you don't let that get carried away too much, then you'll be totally fine using it. So yeah, I might even go a bit smaller because basically the more detailed you can be, the better when it comes to this. So just get it under there. See, it thinks there that the tattoo actually is where it's meant to be. So that's where we'll bring in the just the regular healing brush in a sec and get rid of a couple of those. But we'll work our way around here. All right, let's go healing brush. Let's just grab from up here and just basically go a bit smaller as well. Just grab those. Yeah, and I'm just going to jump in a bit closer again. Like I said, it's all about kind of just going a little bit slow, working your way around. Grab from there. Because you don't want it to look too unnatural. So you can see there, that's worked out pretty good, pretty smooth. That's the tattoo that was there before, not there anymore. Pretty good. You honestly, if you saw that, you wouldn't think there was anything there. You wouldn't think anything of it. There's a little bit around here, which we will deal with. He actually has a sword down the side of his face there, but we'll come back to it a little bit, I think. Obviously everything, and Photoshop goes into individual pixels when you zoom in too much, which is helpful, but also kind of gets in the way a little bit. So I like to kind of back off just where you can't see them, so I can get a really clear view of what I'm actually doing. But anyway, let's just keep working our way around, I guess. So I'm going to grab a bit from here and move it up, just to get rid of these finer details. But the last thing I want to do is kind of make it look too perfect around here. Like, you don't want the same color everywhere. So yeah, I'm really just kind of, this is the top of the sword here that he's got going on. Let's just zoom out. You got to keep checking to see how it looks. All right, so that's a bit patchy there, what I've done. So I'll actually go back. I'm actually going to delete a couple of things there. Did a bit too much, basically. And let's just go back to the spot healing. And just slowly as I tap along, just getting rid of those darker spots there. That's better. Now you zoom out, you can see we've kind of got rid of a bit of the top there. Again, if you look at the before, really clear line. It's almost gone there, so I'll keep jumping back in again. Really, it's tricky because it's so close to his hairline, and I don't want to affect the hairline too much as I go down, because this, I'm pointing with my finger, but you can't see, but you can see with the cursor here that this down here is a sword that he's got down the side of his face. So yeah, we've got to try and work really carefully with that, basically, and work our way along. So I'll just try over here even for a second. Oh, had the wrong one. Yep. And yeah, just like work my way up there. Grab again. So the important thing again with this, with the healing brush, when you're grabbing your spot, again, if you weren't here back at the start, just when you hold Alt and you pick your spot, and that's where it grabs the color from. So you can see there's the pink there. If I grab it from his eye, you're gonna get black. You want to just keep grabbing as you go, because the skin tone changes a lot. So I'll grab from here now. Might be a tiny bit too light, but the spot healer is really clever at basically not getting too carried away with the bit that you picked, and just basically choosing. It takes that section that you chose, so it takes that color from here, just say, and it will put it there. But then you see it actually blends it in around there still, so you don't just get this light piece in the middle of nowhere, but it tells you, it has a bit of an idea of like what you're after. So there we go, we've got down the side there. Pretty good progress so far, I reckon. There's a couple of bits here where you can kind of see in particular what's happened. So I'll just grab from there, get a bit of that hair out of there. That's the opposite of what I wanted to do. Spot healing, bang, bang. Yeah, so one eyebrow done. down the side of his face. Pretty much done as well, I'd say. Pretty happy with how that's turned out. Let's do the top here. I think this one will come together pretty easily, really. Let's see. So, same thing. Let's just start off with just the spot healer on its own. And let's just see how it goes by itself. Work my way around the bottom here. It's working really well, getting rid of that. If you take off too much at a time, you're definitely not going to get the result that you need. You need to really be able to work nice and slow. So yeah, working my way out. Now that I've got rid of like the bottom half of all that barbed wire kind of thing, take off a little bit more. Go back through. Awesome, that is going really well. Got to be careful for it not to grab too much hairline because it'll put the hair onto his face and look a bit funny. So that's really important that we don't do that. You can see these little bits in here. I'm actually going to just jump in even closer and bring this size of this down a little bit. And I'm going to use the other tool, the healing brush, to grab from there and delete them like that, one at a time. And that looks pretty darn good there. So let's have a look now, zoom back out. Pretty good, all gone. I'm really stoked how that turned out actually, that's really good. Now this one over here is gonna be really tricky because it does look like hair. And I just basically need to be careful around the outside here when we get to the hair section to see, don't delete too much of his hair or basically blend it too much. Got to really kind of pretend like as if there's a hairline there besides the tattoo and work with that. So like before, spot healing. Let's just work my way in from here. Just keep working my way through. And like I said before, and I've said a few times, the smaller area that you're dealing with, the more smooth it's going to end up looking in the end. So really just trying to get rid of these bits here. So this part here doesn't really want to go because it's got such a large amount around it. So I might just switch back over to the healing for a second, holding Alt, pick the spot, and then use it to take it away basically. So it's kind of lots of clicking, and you can see with this spot healing, it doesn't want to be too dramatic. So you can see that darkness there. I'll actually harden up just a tiny bit more, and hopefully that kind of helps to get rid of that dark area there a little bit. But otherwise, we'll come back in a bit and just kind of fix that up. It is tricky, definitely. I mean, he has tattoos, so this is essentially like completely changing what he actually does look like. So it's kind of it's a really funny thing to do, really, is to kind of like, I don't know, change what a person looked like. But it wasn't that long ago that he didn't have tattoos like this on his face anyway. So I don't know if anyone's like giant Post Malone fan or whatever. Oh, hey Matt. I have sound and webcam. So we're well and truly into the streaming setup. Have you seen what I'm doing? We are removing all tattoos off Post Malone's face. That's the mission of the day. Yeah. Hopefully that's yeah, you can definitely see that darker section there. So I'm gonna go through and fix that up. When I get rid of all of it, I'll go back through and kind of fix the color up there so that it's you can't tell, but you can see this eyebrow's gone, sword from down the side and all across the top there. Back on in. What do you think, Matt? You're in the chat, so tell me how you think it's coming along. I'm going to time lapse this when I'm done, so I'll basically make this whole kind of process into like a really short little video, and should look really cool because it'll kind of all just delete itself as it goes. What am I doing here? Let's get this back up. Yeah. going to get rid of a bit of that dark shadowing that we had earlier. But all I'm doing now is just increase the size of the spot tool to take... It basically takes the all the colors that are around that section, around that circle, and it kind of just brings them all. So you can see here where I'm dealing with the hairline. If I click here, it actually will extend out the hairline, which we don't want. We kind of want to keep that face line and hairline separate. So that's why sometimes we're dealing with bigger areas, sometimes we're dealing with smaller areas. Yeah, so that looks heaps better now as far as that darkness goes. Alright, so let's deal with this over here. It's honestly like this tool on Photoshop. I'm about to make a tutorial for it after this, and I'm going to use this as a part of the video. But this tool is like almost cheating as far as how easy it is to do this kind of stuff. It seriously is. Just keep clicking away. That might be a bit big for that section. Really just trying to get rid of that bit on the side there. This is a good size. So I've just found, and this is how all Photoshop, everything works pretty much, is you just kind of play around until you find just your kind of size or spot that's working. And this right now, when it's set to 9 at this hardness, which is like actually 100% hardness, is working really well. So just try and get that bit out of the hairline there. It's really hard to tell what's hairline, what's tattoo. But if you zoom out now, I'm stoked how that's going so far. I think that actually looks really cool. Yes, I'm enjoying that a lot. All right, I think we're on to the always tired face bits. Again, you can see here what it used to be. We've done this whole kind of forehead section. I was looking up earlier why he's got his tattoos, because I was like, if I'm going to remove them on a video, just make sure that he doesn't. It's not like some really important reason that he's got them, and basically, I don't know, be disrespectful, I guess. But I saw it as an interview or something, and he said that he did this one because it annoys his mum or something. So I was like, all right, cool. And the sword that he has down here, it's just because he likes swords. So I don't feel like I'm doing any doing anything wrong by him by removing the tattoos that he's only just got recently ish. So again, just using that spot healer. Like I said this at the start. This is a almost 100% spot heal tool stream. Until we get to some other tricky bits, this is pretty much what it's going to be, because it's just such a good tool for, as long as you work systematically in the way that you just kind of, you work your way around on areas, and as opposed to just like trying to do big chunks at once, it doesn't work as well. But if you're happy to kind of just work slowly, work your way around, find out what bits are working and not working, and you'll get the result perfectly. So as you can see here, you still got that dark line, but then what I'll do is I'll come back over it with a slightly larger tool and basically fix that out. So now I'll just make this up, go back up to like 12 or so, maybe 15. Yeah, let's try that. Bang, and then we'll just slowly get rid of that. So he's definitely still dark there, so maybe I'll just try this. It might not work, but I'll go bigger. Yeah, there you go. So that's working now. And you just work your way along. And under his eye, pretty much good. Bit of a dark patch there. Otherwise, we're pretty much golden, I reckon. And a couple more clicks, and I think that'll be looking pretty good. It's looking good. We're getting there. All right. Back in here on the tired side, he's got rid of the always. Yeah, back down to 9. 9's been working really good for us today. Bang. And yeah, just going to go through, work my way around the outside. That's worked really well there. Underneath. if all you can hear is clicking and it's really loud on the microphone, sorry, basically, because it is a lot of clicking and my mouse has a pretty loud click. So, oh yeah, that one came off super easy. That was awesome. Look at that. So 4, that's his whole stuff. Got all that going on. This is where we're at now. I'm really liking how this is coming along. I think what we'll do is we'll actually fix up his teeth and maybe even his eyebrow, and just kind of like, I guess, just like kind of ungangster him completely. Really, it's a bit of a goal. They're kind of pretty funny. All right, let's get down here. This is not as important as the face, so we will go a bit bigger. We'll go back to that kind of 15 size that I had. We'll have to just be careful around the chain there, but really it should be it should all come apart pretty easily here. Come off, sorry, not come apart. Don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, all around there. Same thing in here. Just still slowly work my way around, but I'm just being a little bit less specific, really, just because, you know. Okay, so this is a good example of where the tool has decided that this is not a skin tattoo. It's actually like a shirt line or something like this line here. And so as I click it, it actually isn't really doing anything. So this is where you need to switch over to the healing brush and grab a section. And it will still go bigger. And yeah, so you grab, from here and basically insert that over. Plus it's actually working out pretty good because you get a bit of that chest hair or whatever's going on there. Oops, not that. We'll go smaller again. Oops. Hopefully this is not too monotonous to watch. Hopefully it's interesting. We are getting some really cool results, which I'm stoked with. Yeah, let's work my way around here. I just keep grabbing different sections just to keep it fairly random. And for this outside here, I'm actually going to go full hardness and really get kind of. Let's see how this looks as I come back out. Yeah, you can still definitely see that dark patch there, but all around here is looking good. Yeah, I'll jump back in and fix that. I can actually. There's another tool. I might try this. I can't. I have a different computer, and this setup's slightly different. But I want the sponge. Here we go. And what the sponge can do is actually can. Oh no, it's not the sponge that I want. It's the maybe dodge shadows, and I think that I can. No, it's. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I thought that with the sponge you could kind of lighten a section up, but that's desaturating. That's saturating. Let's bring that back. Don't know. Let's go back to the healing tool. Actually, you know what we're going to use? I know exactly what we're going to use. We're going to use the clone tool. Clone tool is very similar to the healing tool, but it's a bit more specific to what it's grabbing. So again, pick your section and paste it in, and it's going to be a lot more. It's not going to kind of grab from the outside like it did with the healing tool. It's just going to paste what I grabbed there. It's going to paste it there. So I grab here, it's going to paste it there, exactly like that. And let's just zoom out. Pretty happy, got rid of most of that section there. I think that's a tiny bit in there. This is probably a dangerous way to go, but let's just go to like 6 pixels. And really, let's be honest, I just want to get the clone tool again, grab from there, no one's really looking here, and just lighten up this section here that's dark, because I think that's the tattoo. Really? Yeah, easy. Got rid of that little tattoo in there. Stoked. That's cool. Is this? No, that's his shirt. So we'll go up here on the neck. And then the dreaded hands that I'm quite worried about doing, to be totally honest. But if we just zoom out for a second here, you can see the progress we've made. His face is clean. It's looking awesome. Stoked, actually. It's really, really cool. All right, so I do need to do a little bit up here, actually. So I'll get that. Yeah, I got the clone tool. Just going to go a bit bigger. That's definitely too big. Yeah. And just get my way around the chain there, because that can be quite tricky to get a nice clean line like that. Awesome. All right. Spot healing in here. This, again, could be super tricky. What I might actually do is I'm going to start off and put some clone tool spots in there so that the spot healing knows where it's grabbing from. So now I'll switch back over to the spot healer. Hopefully. It's pretty dark. Alright, pretty much got that. There's a bit of dark in here, but I actually, like, if this was the photo, then this actually would be like a fair bit of shadow in here. So I'm actually going to, what's this, pastel. Actually, I was going to use this patch tool, but I'm not anymore. Change my mind. I'm going to just use the clone tool here to get, just basically to smooth it out a little bit. Or it's just, when you've got so many choices, it can be very tricky. I might even just smudge this. So it's not a tattoo anymore. It becomes a bit more like a shadow. And I just want to basically like smudge it into looking like its own shadow rather than any kind of defined tattoo. Yeah, okay, I need to fix that a bit. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that actually. And I'll just grab it back to the clone stamp here, and I'm going to just grab a bit from here and just kind of like, oh, not that. Just trying to get that shadow to look a bit more realistic, really. All right. Yep. Heaps happy with that, how that's turned out. Stoked, actually. So we've done this whole chest area. We've done his whole face. His face is perfect. I'm so happy how that came out. And we're going to do his hands, which I did say I was dreading, and I definitely am. So let's just get into it. This is going to be an example of where you have to, I might have to be a little bit more creative with how I do it, but I'm just going to work through really slowly. These little ones shouldn't be too hard, but this part down here might just be a matter of like, I don't know, pulling some like skin from somewhere else or something random like that. So let's just see what happens here. Healing. Not happy how those look. Let's use the proximity match here to try and... No, it's so tricky. Oh, gosh. It's tricky because... No. Because it's such a small section. I really should be going back to my 9 that I was working with earlier. Alright, we got rid of a couple of those letters, that's alright. Back to here. It's a bit, it feels like, yeah, maybe I'll just bring that back a tiny bit. Now I need to just get rid of this little bit here. Yeah, that's pretty much how that's going to work. All right, let's work our way down a little bit. I just picked a spot out of this guy's head. Basically just slowly building our way out. Okay, I need to go smaller again. Back to that 9. I think 9's a really good number for this kind of thing where it's getting really detailed. I'm going to push in pretty far here. So I'm using the clone stamp tool now, in case you didn't see, rather than the spot healer, because it seems to be working a little bit better for now. Alright, let's go back to the spot healer now. So yeah, slowly but surely, basically working my way around, getting rid of that face. Work my way around again, just continue to kind of try and capture those bits that are the skin color, really. It's just breaking those tattoos down slowly. Grab from there, this might help a little bit. Lots of clicking, working my way around. All right, pretty good. We've got that dark shadow there. We've had it before. We didn't know how to get rid of it. So I'm gonna push onto the hand for now, and yeah, see how we end up. Really, it's gonna be hard. I'm telling you now that the hand part is gonna be really tricky. I'm considering basically finding another picture of similar hand and like completely taking the skin off and putting it. That sounds really weird. But like using that skin tone and color and putting it on, because yeah, what we've got here is completely tattooed. So we don't really know, the spot brush isn't really going to know where to pull from. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see what happens, is what I'll say. Just going to fix something up, close my windows up really quick. Better. Yeah. So I'm going to use the healing brush, grab from here, And just like I was saying before, just work my way around ever so slowly. It's really like, looks really patchy. I'm going to have a crack. I'm going to try using a larger section and just basically go bang and just see how this turns out. Yeah, it's a bit, oh yeah, that's not good. I mean, I kind of was very aware that wasn't going to work, but I thought probably worth a try anyway. But maybe it did show me that maybe something a little bit bigger, now that we've got a bit of a section here, might actually work. So I'm just going to try and work my way down. You can see like this is the darker shadow section here, and it's all really quite dark. So it'd be kind of interesting to see. I'm gonna put a pattern in it. What I'm trying to do here is basically just get some kind of consistency with the color, and then I'm gonna try and use some kind of overlay to basically bring it back into more of a skin color than a grey. That's my goal. So see how it works out in the end. But I do like where this is actually going. It's actually worked out a lot better than I expected it to. Because again, like the hands similar to the chest are really they're not going to be as important as the face, which we've already done. So I'm really glad that we've got a really good job done with the face. All right, oh, get rid of that. Now this looks a bit freaky at the moment, but I've got rid of the tattoos, and now what I'm going to do is I'm basically, like I just said, I'm going to try and change this color here into something that makes it look a little bit more like an actual, like the skin color. So this is officially uncharted territory, and I'm going to use a brush. And I'm going to use a brush, and I'm going to make it pretty big, but I'm going to make it really soft. I'm basically just going to grab like and also pretty opaque, like maybe like this. And I'm going to grab a color from his finger here somewhere, like maybe like that. And let's see what this looks like if I draw it on. Yeah, I like this. All right, more opaque, 21. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually drawing over the top, but I've made it kind of clearish. Or opaque means that you can see through it. And the reason I made it opaque is because I want to keep the shadow where the shadow should be. So the dark sections stay dark. Yeah, that's cool. I really like how that turned out. I'm going to grab a lighter color here because it definitely needs a lighter kind of bottom on it. Yeah. More like that. Alright, a bit blurry. But I'm actually stoked how it's like, it really like looks more like a hand now as opposed to a second ago when it basically just looked like a giant dark patch. So I will try and sharpen up this edge here. Yeah, especially around here. I'm going to try and, might be a bit more. Get a bit more hardness around here. Go a bit smaller. Try and get up around here. I need to go darker again. Yeah, I need to fix up this line here. So what I might do is, I might actually use the clone tool, clone stamp, to grab a piece of his shirt, and I want it to be hard, yeah, 100%. and basically like a bit smaller maybe for this bit. Zoom right on in. Yeah. It's pretty, it looks like it's been censored. It kind of looks like it's blurry. Like I want to make it look a bit more, yeah, like, I mean like skin. Like you can see all the kind of dots and things he's got going on here. And so what am I going to do that? I might actually leave it, to be honest. It's pretty good. It actually looks, I've been pretty critical. It actually looks pretty good considering what it was. But what I might do is I might make this a bit darker through here still, just to basically, I guess it'll look a bit more realistic because it needs to be more of a shadow around here still. So, grab that brush back. Still nice and soft, and I'm just going to make it that same color, but I'm just going to go a little bit darker. No, that's still lighter. I need to go this color here and make that a little bit darker. Yeah, so he's got a pretty smooth hand. So what? But for those of you that have just jumped in recently, the goal here is to remove all the tattoos, and we've done his whole face. I've worked our way down to the chest, got all that done as well. You can see all these ones here, and now we just work on the hand, which I basically knew from the start and did say it's a massive challenge because his whole hand is covered in tattoos. So really, it's like you know, we're basically creating a new hand. Which means that we're going to have to do lots of kind of layers and nice shading and to make it look a bit more realistic. But I'm actually pretty stoked where it's at. So yeah, so let's just jump back in. I do wonder what would happen if I just kind of, yeah, I need to go darker. I need to get darker. So let's get this back. Go darker again, maybe down here even. Where's that? Let's bring that up a little bit maybe. And we need to go even darker for up here, but we need to go a bit smaller still. Oh, that's not good. Delete those. I need to go darker color, like almost down to black. Soft. Yeah. Yeah. And then you basically, I'm going to go a bit bigger, really, really soft and a bit more opaque to basically try and blend that darker section in there. Let's see how this is. Oh gosh. So tricky. Where's that smudge? Do it again. Alright, need to go lighter again then. This is always, this was going to be the tricky one. It is a good shadow through here. It's just a matter of getting it to look right, basically. So yeah, we'll come back to this color, darken it up a little bit, and come back here And yeah, we're going to just come through and just keep blending it back. You don't want these lines, like you can kind of see the lines there. All right, hopefully that's getting there. The hand is far outside, isn't it? I'm going to do this. I'm going to duplicate this layer. So it's directly underneath, exactly the same. And what I'm going to do is erase with full hardness around the outside of his hand here. So we get a really nice sharp. So if I did this, just so you know. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, we need a harder one like that. If I erase the... I'm so confused right now. Oh, right. I see what's happened here. Don't worry. Ignore everything that I just did. That's what I was basically trying to show you before, is that it would disappear. But I forgot that I didn't erase the original one. I erased the one that I was already editing. So, yeah. This one here, really, can go. Alright, let's just see. It's really close. It's actually really close to being good. But it's just not quite right. It's just that little bit too like smooth, basically. So I really just want to be able to, I think I just want to sharpen up this line here. And potentially, yeah, just not 100%. We will work it out. We will work it out. That's basically the fun of what we're doing here, is that you kind of don't know. You kind of don't know where this stuff's going to go until you start doing it. And it forces you to make really hard decisions on the spot, really. Super hard. So, and you have to problem solve, you know, like you kind of, I don't really know where this is going to go. So, just trying to create a more defined line there. But now it looks like his finger's like been chopped. We didn't need that. All right. How can I get that back to being like more like a skin tone? This is honestly where I'm at with this, is I'm about to go and get a picture of a hand. I'm going to put it on and I'm going to basically make it look like it's his hand. So I'm just trying to find if there is one. That's actually pretty darn good. I can't believe that I'm going to put this on the live stream, but that's just... Okay, this is going to be super weird. But I'm basically using this hand on top of his to get that skin tone back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the fingers because we don't need them. Does anyone else think this is kind of like gruesome and weird? Because I do. And I'm going to make it a bit transparent so I can see where his hand originally was. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform it so that it actually fits onto his hand. A bit like this. Okay. So now when I bring it back up, it's kind of where his hand is. I'm going to keep it down. And I'm going to erase around where his hand's not. I did not think that this, when I started this challenge, I did not think that I would be putting a fake hand on his hand to basically try and get that skin tone back, but this is where we're at, so this is what we're doing. Yeah, so I'm going to just so that I can see it for a second, just bring that back up. And how's this? Yeah, I need to go much softer than that. Oh, keep doing that. Sorry, guys. Back to our trusty 9, I think. Softer. That's it. All right. Bring that back. I'm going to go around here. Into here. And if there was anything that's like up around here. You can't really see it, but I am erasing that hand. So that when I bring it back, it's only on top of where his hand was. So you can see that. And then there's a couple of like dark sections here. I'm just going to erase them out. Don't need the fingers. All right. All right. Now, obviously that's not even close to the right skin color. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, I'm going to mask on this basically to get it to the right skin color, which I don't think is actually that hard because really it's skin. So it just needs to be a bit lighter or a bit darker. So I'm going to make this its own little hand folder. Could be orange, and that goes in there. And now I am going to select it and create a brightness and contrast mask where I'm going to try and get it back to looking as close as I can to kind of the right thing. So maybe a bit more like that. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. Oops, let me get that. And I'm going to do, oops, far out, all over the shop at the moment. So I'm just selecting the area that I want to deal with. And I'm going to use a hue saturation. And I'm going to bring the saturation back a little bit. Bring the lightness up a little bit. Yep, that's looking heaps more like it. Maybe a bit more saturation. And then what I'm going to do is make the hand kind of in the middle as far as the opacity goes. And I'm going to erase around the outside with a really soft brush. So I'm going to go no hardness, pretty large. And I'm going to erase around the outside of this hand so that it blends with the actual hand. What is that? Oh, okay. I see. I need to combine these guys. Or unless I can do it off that. I don't think I can though. No. So I'm happy with the color. So what I'm going to do is I need to combine these into being a single shape. And then I just need to come around here like this. And I'm using, like I said, a really soft brush to brush off that outside of it so that it blends perfectly into our boy Post's actual hand. And that is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. make it a little bit more see-through. And we've got the skin tone back that we needed. Thank goodness for that. That took a long time just to get his hand back. And I'm actually stoked how that's turned out. It looks really, really good, basically, compared to how it started. Alright, so I was going to do his eyebrow and his teeth. I'm going to have a crack at it. And, yeah, basically, see what happens. Because now, after doing that hand, I'm kind of like, who knows, really. So I'm going to use the clone stamp. Grab a bit of the eyebrow. Oh, need to go to the right person. Grab a bit of the eyebrow, paste her on. I need to go softer. That's super hard there. Just want it to look like it was always there. Bang. And the teeth we said we were going to fix. So I'm going to attempt just to paint them using the colours we've got down here. So we'll see what happens with that. It's always a bit tricky. But they're definitely silver, and I don't really see any other heaps good way to do it. So I'm just going to get the old paintbrush out again, the trusty paintbrush. I need to go much smaller, we need to go tooth-sized, bang. And we're going to pull the colour from that, and just go like this, bang. It's pretty yellow. I'm going to put white over the top of the yellow, so because you can see, actually, it's kind of like yellow over the white. Anyway, we're going to mess around. Well, we're going to put a little bit of white on it as well to kind of like, I don't know, give him a better chance at having nicer teeth rather than just taking from the yellow part under here. But that's pretty good, like that. That's all I wanted to really do. Just have a look how it looks. Yeah, you can't see as much that it's like he's got his blinged out teeth going on. Let's go a lighter colour, like out here a bit more. I'll tell you what the biggest mistake you'd make is when you're dealing with teeth is probably to go white, because I don't think anyone's teeth actually are white, and you'll kind of instantly pretty well ruin how it looks. So it's going to go a bit harder for this. But I don't want to get rid of any of that shadowing or anything. I just want to make them a bit whiter. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much what I'm going to do with that. A bit smaller. And yeah, I think that's pretty well done. I think I'm stoked with that. You've got to finish somewhere, and I think that's where I've finished. So I'm going to make this into a time lapse, like I said. Hopefully, if you watch the full stream, you actually kind of learn something and you get to see where it ended up. And yeah, I learned a lot today. I learned a lot. Hopefully, you learned a lot as well. But yeah, I definitely, the hand thing in particular, super challenging. Is that? Just might even mess around right now while I'm looking at it. I'm gonna make it even more. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was a mission. That hand took me as long as everything else probably combined double. So yeah, that was tricky, but I always knew it was gonna be tricky. I did say that from the start. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. That is the stream of the day, and I hope that you like where it ended up. I might finish this while I'm on. I'm gonna make a thumbnail for it separately. So thanks heaps, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna make this into a video that's gonna be time lapsed. So this whole time, how long has it been? An hour, just bang on. It's gonna be like a minute kind of thing. So it's gonna be this really short, kind of quick time lapse to see how I did it. So thanks heaps, guys. You guys are awesome. I'll see you in the next video.